older and aged. Hi, people of the interwebs. It's your favorite abandoned warehouse, Sarah here, with another car review. And today I have this 2020 50th anniversary Nissan 370Z with this throwback Datsun BRE era racing livery that I'm gonna leave up to you to decide whether or not you like it. In case for some reason you're angered by acronyms, BRE stands for Brock Racing Enterprise. And if you wanna know more, you can Google it. Now the 50th anniversary edition comes in two color schemes for the livery, silver and black and this pearl white and red. The hood, the mirror coverings, the A-pillar caps, and the rear hatch are actually painted. Everything else on the car you see is a decal. I try my best to keep opinions out of my car reviews, but I'm sorry, these wheels are a hard no. And I don't care that they're forged, manufactured by RAREST Engineering. They're 19 by 9 up front, 19 by 10 in the rear, staggered. But the red lip and the machine face black all happening at the same time on this wheel is just, it's no. Plus I feel they missed the mark on the offset by about 5 to 10 millimeters too far inward. Because the Z34 was designed for a global market, it has a rear fog light built into the rear diffuser, but because this is a US model car, I haven't been able to find a switch to turn it on. I wasn't too sure about the 370Z when it first replaced the 350 in 2009 with its melted style taillights and headlights, but I think it's aging well and it's grown on me over the years. I love the muscular rear haunches and the quarter panels and the fact that the hatch has this built-in duckbill spoiler to it that's accentuated by the fact that the 50th anniversary edition does not have a bolt-on plastic wing. It's wingless-ish, and it looks good. Anyone can criticize something on the internet, but it's challenging to come up with a solution on how to do something better. So I'm challenging those of you who do not like this livery. What would you have done to make it better? Let me know in the comment section below. Moving to the interior, you guys know I roll. I'm gonna keep this to the point. I'm not gonna read off a brochure to you because there's not much to read off as far as brochure goes on the interior of this 370Z. Look, is no secret, this is an aging platform, so I'm not gonna sit here and go on about how it's lacking this, that, and the other because that's just cliche. What I am gonna talk about is what is still relevant about this platform. Starting with none other than the seats. It's good bolstering. It's really good. But here's the thing about these seats. The 50th anniversary edition gets a special design to the seat that I absolutely love. It's the best feature about the 50th anniversary. It has a kind of like hologram look to it because it's black suede in the center with red perforations that make out a little Z logo with a reef around it. I said wreath, not reef around it. Anyway. Hey, that's real aluminum. It's not plastic. The same design elements from the seats carry over to the door cards, which are nice and soft, supple suede, and the steering wheel, which also has suede on the sides and the little red leather line in the center to let you know where center is. Hey, there are no pockets in the back of the seats. There's not much buttons in the center, but it doesn't matter. The less tech this thing has, the more focused it is on just driving the damn thing. And how is there fingerprints in the back of that? Who else did this? With one exception, the stereo. It has Bose speakers, but what the hell are you going to listen to? It's got a AM FM CD player straight from 2000 and nothing in here. What? Like, seriously? Wow, these are really tiny back windows. You don't actually notice when you're looking out them. I mean, from the outside, you just don't even pay attention. Definitely got to get the tech package, I guess, so you at least get a modern display that isn't touchscreen. I guess you could say that's a win. There's enough room to stuff a penguin in there. It's a little squished. Another win, because this is an aging platform, Rip-It style e-brake. Doesn't have an electronic one. Thank you. I do not think there is anybody watching that genuinely questions whether or not you can fit a human in the back of the 370Z. The center console lid is in the shape of Beaker's mouth from the Muppets. There's a USB in there. Technology. I'm such a f***ing weird person. Oh my god. I'm sorry, but I am kind of a fan of the sound of the VQ series engines, especially this VQ37VHR. It's just a good sounding engine when they're uncorked. But there's a problem with this one, other than the fact that it's the 7-speed auto, so you can't fully hear how it sounds. It prevents you from revving all the way up to redline, so you don't do neutral drops in it. But Nissan puts a fake sound generator that pipes in noise through the speakers. If I bought one of these, it'd be the first thing I would delete on this car. Say what you will about this little key sloot down here, but I think it's pretty handy to have a place to store your key fob, and it reminds you before you get out of the car to take it out after with you. I know every reviewer out there is gonna criticize this little multifunction display here on your gauge cluster, and it is showing the age of the car. It looks like it was designed by Texas Instruments, the people that make those calculators that we played games on in math class and didn't actually pay attention to math. In the name of science, I shall now give it the beans. I'm gonna slap this thing over into manual mode because it is the 7-speed automatic, and this is the transmission strong suit, acceleration. Turn off traction control. I'll let this thing eat. Ready? Go. A little bit of wheel spin. Ooh, wheel spin into second. All right, that's good enough. This thing moves out, dude. Hey, that's a light hood. Hello, and welcome to Garage Science with Sarah. Powering the 370Z is none other than the VQ37VHR. It is the same 3.7 liter naturally aspirated all aluminum V6 that has had since 2009 that produces 332 horsepower at 7,000 RPM and 270 pound-feet of torque at 5,200 RPM. I know the 370Z has been in production for over 11 years now, but I've actually never popped the hood on a 370 before and seen a VQ37 in person. And it's interesting to see from someone that has owned a 350Z with the VQ35DE engine, how they managed to make more power with this. Now, obviously 0.2 liters of displacement makes a difference. However, if you look, the strut tower bar on this car is wafer thin, which enables you to have a taller plenum. And that was something that you had an issue on the DE engines where it restricted airflow to the front 2 cylinders. Whereas this one, it has a taller plenum, which enables equal distribution of airflow to all 6 cylinders. What I would like to have seen though for the 50th anniversary edition is Nissan stick the Nismo's version of this VQ37 under the hood of this car that produces 350 horsepower and 276 pound-feet of torque. I think it would have made it more special to get the 50th anniversary edition if it had that extra power. Either way, I am a big fan of the VQ series engines, whether you decide to slap on your own turbo on it or a supercharger or keep it naturally aspirated with some long tube headers and a full exhaust and some other goodies. You can't really go wrong. It's a great engine. Sounds good too. All right, time for the braking test. No one behind me. Oh God. Oh my God. Holy fuck. Oh my God, these brakes are good. Wow. They're unchanged. They're still the Akebono 14-inch front rotors, 13-point-inch rear rotors with 4-pot calipers up front, 2-pot calipers in the rear. I don't really know how you pronounce that. Akebono. Hi, I'm back. The transmission in this 370Z is the Jatco sourced 7-speed automatic transmission with auto rev match downshifting. And the great thing about it is it will not shift for you. So if you are accelerating and you miss shift, you're going to slam forward like an idiot because you missed the gear. It's not gonna help you out. But it will shift for you at low RPM so you don't stall it, because that would just be dumb to stall an automatic transmission car. And of course you can get it with a 6-speed manual transmission, which is probably the more fun choice to have, but the 7-speed doesn't ruin the car. The Z holds a special place in my heart because I actually used to own a 350Z. It's actually the car I've owned the longest out of any vehicle I've ever had. And it's the only vehicle I've ever driven on the Nürburgring Nordschleife in Germany. I'm prior military, so that's how that happened. But yeah, I love these cars. Just because this car is synonymous with El Drifto, don't let that make you think it's all it can do. Because these things are great track cars and an absolute blast on a back road. Oh yeah, these brakes are on point. And the auto doesn't even ruin it. You would think an automatic would ruin a car like this. It's not bad. I'd still totally go for the 6-speed manual over the 7-speed auto, but it's not bad. It is a downside that there's quite a bit of road noise in this car, and some of that has to do with the Bridgestone Potenzas that are on here, which I actually like, I have to mention. I'm gonna have to put them to the test a little bit. It doesn't need that sound generator. It sounds good on its own. Especially a 370Z. There's a lot less of these out there than there is a 350. I think that's what's going to make this a special car as it gets older and aged. Of course, I am excited for what a 400Z will be like. I'm always excited about what new cars will be like, but I don't think this thing should be discredited, is no longer relevant just because it hasn't been updated since 2009. It's still such a fun car to drive, and because it is such a fun car to drive, you're focused more on driving than the lack of technology that this thing is definitely missing. I mean, the car audio portion is the part that gets me the most. I like having a modern head unit to touch to select my Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's like having dial-up internet and then going to high-speed internet. It's like once you get it, you're like, you can't ever go back. Other than that, I don't care about all the other modern tech features that it's missing. And I actually like the fact that it's naturally aspirated. I don't know. I'm excited for a new one, but I do like the 370 still, even after all these years. So if you guys have never seen one of my car reviews before, I have multiple categories to rate and assess vehicles that are on the fringe of making any sense whatsoever, starting with the coveted bean score. It is a rating of 1 to 5 beans based on the feeling you get in your gut when you give it the beans. And this 2020 370Z is getting a rating of 2.5 beans. This thing is quick. I don't care if it's a dated platform, it's still relevant performance-wise. It pulls like a freight train in the upper RPMs, and it's just a great chassis. Next up is the cookie category. It is a rating of 1 to 5 cookies based on what you get for what you spend. And the 2020 50th Anniversary Edition is getting a rating of 2.25 cookies. It is below average because I have to. The interior is so far dated and void of any tech whatsoever that, like, even the head unit, I mean, come on, could you just like partnered with Alpine or somebody and just put something in there that had like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto? Maybe. What is that thing? So it's getting a little bit below average. The performance is what raised the score though, and the uniqueness of the car. Lastly is the penguin category. It is a rating of 1 to 5 penguins based on how much I personally like a car. in this 50th anniversary edition with this crazy BRE livery that at first I kind of hated it when I saw it in pictures, and now somehow it's growing on me, is going to get a rating of 3.25 penguins. That penguin just had his feet lopped off, poor thing. It's weird, and you're not gonna see that many of these. I don't think that many of them are going to sell, because last year, less than 3,000 370Zs sold in the US, let alone how many of them this year are going to be this anniversary edition in the red and the white. So I like it. It's a weird car. I would definitely change these wheels out with something different, but yeah, it's unique. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you soon with another. Bye.